Well, usually you get a lot of these around the holidays, and especially in mall parking lots, and people leaving packages in their cars and things of that nature. And if you leave things in your car, including neighborhoods, generally speaking, we'll start with neighborhoods. Thieves don't break the windows, and it goes the full gamut from juveniles to adults. Uh, Usually, my experience is they check the car doors to see if they're unlocked, and then they rifle the car, rifle for change or things of that nature. If you leave something and they have a flashlight and it looks an opportunity for them, they will break the windows. Usually they just look for open windows. I see that a lot on next door, which is the next door neighborhood alert by Ring. The Ring app uses that. um, and then our neighborhood alert is one, and then next door app, which next door applies like to different communities. Like North Las Vegas probably has a next door app, probably have several of them in their community, which is a much wider app than the neighborhood alert by Ring. But I see a lot of people posting things on there. And if you do have that opportunity and you are using cameras and such, then post pictures of those people. I see a lot of times these people post a picture of thieves on the app to try to identify them, but definitely give them to the police to try to identify them. But don't leave things in your car. Lock your car, and don't leave things in there that create an opportunity. As I said, generally, they won't break the windows if they don't see anything, and they just check the doors. And you have kids and adults walking through neighborhoods, checking doors on cars and driveways and on the street, looking for opportunities. And it's don't give them that opportunity. And then with the amount of cameras that we see now that people have in front doorbell apps, not just Ring, share those with the police and share them with your neighbors. Um, uh, you know, have floodlights. Some people have floodlights that turn on when there's motion, and some people have floodlights that are on all times in their driveway and such. And the same applies to commercial parking lots, any parking lot. Most of the time, thieves will just try the door to see if it's unlocked and then move on. If they see something in the car, they see something in the car, they may try to break in. They may try to, during the holidays, we'll see that in mall shopping areas where they actually drill the car, drill the holes around the lock and able to break in. And that's usually a conversation left for the holidays. But if you're carrying packages to your car, or if you leave packages in your car, thieves are walking and looking. And mall security in parking lots is usually pretty vibrant with cars with visible security and such. But it's just whatever opportunity you leave for thieves, they will take that opportunity.
I think a big misconception is a lot of people think if you have tinted windows I mean, maybe that helps, but I mean, I've heard of a lot of situations where people still have their car burglarized, even if their windows are completely black. Another topic I want to bring up is even if you do have a garage and you leave your car in the garage, it's important to lock your car when in the garage, correct?
Yeah, depending on most garage openers, the modern ones have a rotating combo. In the old days, you could, it was a 1-2 or a plus minus on your key code, and thieves would drive through the neighborhood clicking a button. And if they saw I've been the victim of that. If they saw a door that would open up, they'd close it, and then they'd come back later, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, knowing they could open the garage and take whatever. So modern garage doors have a rotating locking system. In other words, it's the lock is the number is always changing. Now they still try that, but the success of that is much more frequent than how it used to be. But yes, I would recommend lock your doors in your garage. Absolutely.
Is there anything that you would say that people might not think about, like, oh, it's okay to leave it? Like, obviously, you don't want to leave your wallet, you don't want to leave your purse, a laptop, but are there any things in particular that you're like, you know what, you also don't want to leave this? And I know you wouldn't think that it would be an issue, but it is.
Well, I'll give you an example. I know a person who left a spare key in his glove compartment, and for the car wash, for valet parking, and things of that nature. So he didn't have to leave his key ring, and he forgot to lock his door one night, his car door, and someone got into his car, found the key, and stole his truck. So that would be that would be a good example. They didn't see it; it just happened to be the door. They didn't break the window. They just opened the door, and there it was. As they're rifling through, they find the ignition key, and wow, now I can make a quick getaway with this truck, and took the truck. So um,
Ugh.
there's yeah, don't leave your wallet in the car. Certainly don't leave firearms in the car because you think it's impregnable because you've locked the door. Occasionally, thieves will break the window, but it's not a usual occurrence. It's usually just checking the door to see if it's unlocked.
Another thing I think is the registration, because the registration has your information on it as far as where you live and everything like that. So finding that registration, then maybe putting it back, and then kind of surveillance, like watching, say they know your routine, they watch your car, they know you're at work, then they go to your house and try to burglarize your house. That's another theory.
You don't see much of that.
Okay.
That's a theory. Um, uh, there used to be a thing where if you leave your house keys, not impossible that you leave your house key on your key ring when you go to a valet parking, and somebody might make a copy of your key with just an imprint pad. Possible.
Mm.
Uh, and stealing your registration info so they can go burglarize your house. Possibly. But most burglaries at in a residential neighborhood are somebody knocks on the front door, goes around back, throws a brick through the back window, and gets in and out as soon as they can. So unless they're specifically wanting to target you, that's a possibility. If they're targeting you, is to get that information off of registration.
Have you seen in just recent years more car thefts having to do in neighborhoods, or more so in, you know, public places?
Uh, you know, I haven't seen the statistics on that, but I believe more car thefts take place in parking lots than they do in neighborhoods. But it's once again, it still it happens in both places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the answer to that would be yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would want to add that I maybe didn't ask? Um,
No, just practical safety, that type of thing. If you get video, give it to the police. Put it on your app, whichever one you're on. Post a picture of somebody. If they're roaming the neighborhood, you see them walk by. I've seen them on. I have both the neighborhood alert and the next door app, and people post pictures of suspicious people, especially if they're, and when I say suspicious, trying car doors or have flashlights looking in cars. Post pictures. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be somebody in your neighborhood.